This isn't a surprise to anybody, but the Acolyte is complete garbage. Today's video is just going to break down episode 7 of the Acolyte, but before we jump into that, it seems like a lot of you guys aren't subscribed yet, and I'm actually on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys want to be a part of that journey, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, it would really help me out, and I would really appreciate it. Alright, so somehow the show got even worse after 7 long weeks of what seems to be the most canon-breaking storytelling in Star Wars history. But I don't think anyone is surprised considering 90% of the people working on the show don't care about the lore of Star Wars and just write in whatever they feel is best for their terrible show. We see this in the newest episode of The Acolyte where there is cringe going on left and right. In this episode, Sol reveals to May exactly what happened the night they came for her and Osha. It's revealed that the Jedi were on their planet due to them looking for a virgin in the Force, with some of the Jedi being skeptical about finding anything, where Sol believes there is. Sol later discovers the twins, and then we see them confront the witches in the scene that we saw in episode 3. We later find out that Sol helps Osha cheat on the Jedi test, which is so weird to me because I just can't see a Jedi doing this, especially in an era where the Jedi are supposedly at their peaks. Just not a Jedi thing to do in my opinion. I can understand this somewhat because Sol just wants what's best for the twins, but again, this isn't the Jedi way, as we know the attachments are not the way of the Jedi. The Jedi end up conducting blood tests on the girls and find out that they aren't twins and that they're just the same consciousness split into two different beings. They inform the council of the twins, and the council basically shuts them down and shows no interest in the girls. We later cut to Mother Coral basically gaslighting May into being upset about Osha wanting to leave, and this ultimately sparks what happens between May and Osha, where she burns Osha's book. I guess the fire that somehow burnt down everything made of stone was an accident, and May was just trying to burn Osha's book. This is kind of a lazy way of writing things. I mean, yeah, I guess this is okay, but it still doesn't explain why it burnt down an entire temple made of stone. This is terrible writing because it makes zero sense. I've already gone over how dumb a fire burning down a temple made of stone is, but this is classic Disney trying to inject the misunderstood villain arc that has appeared in every Disney product over the last decade. Anyways, the Jedi pull up after noticing something went wrong, and a conflict sparks between Anastasia and the Jedi. Anastasia turns into some type of witch ghost made of black smoke, and then Sol just straight up kills her, so all of that was pretty much for nothing. And then she ends up admitting that she was going to let May, or not May, whatever the fuck the other twin was, Osha, go with the Jedi. So the whole point of her getting mad and attacking the Jedi in the first place doesn't make any sense at all. This angers Mother Coral, and she attacks the Jedi, turning into a witch ghost and taking over Kalnaka. She controls Kalnaka and attacks the Jedi, but it actually gets better as it turns out that all of the witches are working together in sync to control one person, which is the Wookiee Jedi we saw in this episode. The Jedi ultimately defeat Kalnaka, use some type of force exorcist on him, and sever his connection to the witches. But somehow, some way, this knocks out all of the witches. I mean, all of them. They all just pass out, and then, it just shows what we saw in episode 3, where they're all kind of just lying all over the ground. No burn marks, no wounds, no nothing. I guess they're all dead. I don't know. I'm not going to think about it. It's all fucking stupid. But yeah, you heard me correctly. This knocks out all of them, I guess. Does it kill them? I have no fucking clue. Does anyone know? Probably not, because shitty writing means it's probably difficult for anyone to know what's going on at all in the show. Anyways, we cut to Sol finding both May and Osha on the bridge, knowing it's about to collapse, and we're all in the split moment where Sol has to choose which twin to save. Of course, we all know what happens. He ends up saving Osha because I guess she's the nice one, and fuck the other twin because who cares, right? This pisses me off to no extent because this goes against everything a Jedi would do. This is not the Jedi way, and to see a pure-hearted Jedi have to choose to save one person over the other is so incredibly stupid to me. Why couldn't he have just used the Force to save both of them? Why couldn't he have just saved both? To the shills who support the show, I envy you because I wish I could look past the terrible writing and come up with random excuses to make everything make sense. Ultimately, nothing has really progressed in the show, and it's episode 7. There are only 8 episodes in this entire series, meaning there is only 1 episode left at the time of this video. And if I'm being honest, has anything really progressed at all in the show? I feel as if everyone is the same as they were in the beginning. But whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. The show is trash, and that's all there really is to it. Not much to say to defend it, and I really try to. But again, writing is terrible. How can you defend the show? I just don't understand. But that's pretty much all I gotta say about this episode. If you like it, that's totally fine, but the show is just awful, and it's a giant disgrace to what George Lucas created. If you guys want to see just how bad Disney Star Wars has gotten, go ahead and check out one of these videos above. And again, that's it for me. See ya.